My child, before the first star lit up the darkness, before the seas kissed the shores, before the first breath filled human lungs, there was love. I was there. The Father was there. The Spirit was there. We were not three strangers meeting in the void. We were one, bound in perfect unity, perfect peace, perfect love. There was no jealousy between us, no shadow, no fear. The love that flowed between the Father and me, and between the Spirit and us, was not a love learned. It was our nature. It had no beginning, and it will have no end. You measure time in days, years, and centuries, but love, my love, does not count the hours before the earth spun on its axis, before the moon danced around it. Love existed without limit or clock. You think of love as something that starts when two hearts meet, but I tell you, love has no starting point because it was never absent. It is as eternal as the one who is love. The Father loved the Son before the foundations of the world. I loved the Father before the mountains rose from the deep. The Spirit moved between us like a song without end. The melody of heaven. We did not create the world because we were lonely. We created the world because love overflows. When love is real, it cannot remain contained. It must give, it must create, it must bless. That is why the stars were hung, the rivers carved, the gardens planted. Creation itself is the handwriting of love across the canvas of nothingness. You live in a world where love is often fragile, conditional, or self-serving. But in the beginning, love was pure. It did not need to take to feel whole. It only desired to give. And even now, that love has not changed. Though your world changes, though your seasons shift, my love is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Before the first heartbeat of Adam, I knew you. Before the first dawn touched the earth, I saw you. Before you could choose me, I chose you, my child. The greatest truth is this. You were born not to find love in this world, but to return to the love that has always been, the love that spoke light into the darkness, the love that wrote your name before the beginning, and that love will never let you go. The Father's heart, the source of all true love. My child, if you wish to understand true love, you must first look to its source. My Father, for every river must flow from a spring, and every light must have its flame. The heart of the Father is that spring, that flame, the place from which all love begins. The Father's love is not like the love of men, which is so often divided by preference or earned by performance. It is not a wage to be worked for, nor a prize to be won. The Father's love is given because He is love itself. It is who He is, not simply what He does. Before you drew your first breath, the Father's heart was set upon you. Before you could speak His name, He whispered yours, and when you wandered, He did not wait in anger. He came searching, calling your name through the shadows. The Father's love is steady. It does not fade with your failures or grow brighter with your successes. It is the same on the mountaintop as in the valley, the same in the daylight as in the darkest night. No sin is too great to place you beyond His reach, no wound too deep for Him to heal. I tell you the truth. There is no corner of creation where His love does not shine. You could cross the seas, climb the highest mountains, hide in the depths of the earth, and still the Father's heart would find you. The Father's love is generous. He does not give sparingly or measure with a cautious hand. Like the sun that pours out its light without charging for its warmth, the Father gives without thought of what He will receive. It was His love that sent me into the world, not to condemn it, but to save it. It was His love that chose the cross. Not because you were perfect, but because you were precious. You live in a world that tells you love must be earned, but my Father's heart has never believed this lie. His love is not a reward for the worthy. It is the lifeline for the lost. Even now, he calls to you, not with the harsh voice of a judge, but with the tender voice of a father longing for his child to come home. If you hear his call, do not turn away, for every step toward him is met with his running to you. My child, remember this always. When the world's love fails you, when friends leave you, when your own heart condemns you, the Father's heart remains. Constant, unshaken, and open wide, and from his heart flows the only love that will never let you go. Love versus desire, the difference between God's love and worldly love. Here's your text with all periods replaced by commas while keeping the rest exactly as it is. My child, many in this world confuse love with desire. They call it love when their hearts race, when their minds are filled with longing, when they feel the fire of passion. But I tell you the truth. Desire is not the same as love. Desire seeks to take. Love longs to give. Desire says, I want you because you fulfill me. Love says, I give myself because you are worth more than my own comfort. Desire fades when its hunger is satisfied. Love endures even when nothing is returned. Desire can be selfish, born from what the eyes see and the flesh craves. But love, my love, is selfless, born from the heart of the Father and shaped by sacrifice. The world's love often begins with attraction and ends when the beauty fades or the benefits vanish. God's love begins before you can give anything in return and remains when all else is gone. Desire may whisper, I will stay as long as you please me. But true love declares, I will stay, even if it costs me everything. Look at the cross, my child, no desire hung there. Only love. I did not give my life because you could offer me anything in return. I gave it because you were mine, even when you had nothing to give. The difference between desire and love is this. Asterisk desire is about possession. Love is about devotion. Asterisk desire asks, what can I get? Love asks, what can I give? Asterisk desire is fueled by need. Love is fueled by grace. When you live by desire alone, you will always hunger and never be full. But when you live in love, you will find that giving fills you more than receiving ever could. My child, choose the love that mirrors mine. Do not be fooled by the fleeting sparks of desire that fade in the night. Seek the flame that burns steady and eternal, the love that comes from God's own heart. For in that love, you will find not just passion for a moment, but peace for a lifetime, and life for eternity. Why love is a choice, not a feeling to commitment over emotion. My child, feelings are like the wind, gentle one moment, fierce the next. They rise and fall, change direction without warning, and cannot be trusted to anchor a life. If your love is built only on what you feel, it will drift away when the storms come. But true love is not a passing emotion. It is a deliberate choice. When I walked among you, I felt the weariness of hunger, the sting of rejection, the sorrow of betrayal. If my love for you depended only on how I felt, I might have turned away from the cross. But love is not about what is easy. It is about what is right. Love chooses to stay when feelings want to leave. Love chooses to forgive when emotions demand revenge. Love chooses to serve when the heart longs to be served. The Father's love for you is not based on his mood. It does not rise when you do well and fall when you fail. It is a covenant, a promise, an unbreakable decision that nothing in heaven or earth can overturn. The world tells you to follow your heart, but your heart will change its mind 1,000 times. Today it may love, tomorrow it may grow cold. That is why love must be anchored in the will. in the decision to give, protect, and cherish regardless of the shifting tides of emotion. Look at a marriage that has endured decades. There were days of joy and days of sorrow, days when feelings soared and days when they felt absent. What kept them together was not constant passion, but constant choice. So it is with my love for you. Each day, I choose you. Not because you always make me glad, but because you are mine, and I will not let you go. My child, the greatest loves are not the ones that burn brightest in a moment, but the ones that refuse to go out over a lifetime. This is the love I call you to. A love that is chosen again and again. No matter how you feel, for feelings pass, but choices remain. And when you choose love as I have loved you, you will build something that no storm can tear down. The greatest commandment, love for God and love for neighbor. My child, when the teachers of the law asked me, which commandment is the greatest? I did not give them a list of rules. I gave them the very heart of the law and the prophets in two simple truths. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. All of Scripture hangs on these two commands. To love God is not to offer him scraps of your time or the leftovers of your attention. It is to place him first, above your possessions, above your ambitions, above even your own comfort. It means to trust him when you cannot see the way ahead, to obey him when the world laughs at your faith, and to honor him not just with your lips, but with your life. To love God is to make him the center, not the edge. It is to say, not my will, but yours be done. To love your neighbor is to reflect that same devotion outward. Your neighbor is not only the one who lives next door, but the stranger on the street, the coworker who tests your patience, the poor, the forgotten, the broken. Loving your neighbor does not mean agreeing with everything they do, but it does mean treating them as one made in the image of God. It means to help when you can, to listen when they speak, to forgive when they offend. I tell you the truth. You cannot claim to love God and yet despise the people he created, for the way you treat others is the clearest reflection of your love for him. When you feed the hungry, clothe the naked, visit the sick, or comfort the grieving, you are loving me. When you choose kindness over cruelty, forgiveness over vengeance, you are living out the greatest commandment. These two loves, for God and for neighbor, are not separate paths. They are one road. The deeper you love God, the more your heart will open to others, and the more you love others, the more you will see God's face in them. My child, do not make the mistake of thinking love is only a feeling in your heart. It must also be the work of your hands, the words of your mouth, the posture of your life. For when you love God with all that you are, and love your neighbor as yourself, you fulfill not only the greatest commandment, you fulfill the very reason you were created. Part 2: The nature of true love. Unconditional love, loving without if or because. My child, the world's love often comes with conditions. It says, I love you if you make me happy. It says, I love you because you meet my needs. But such love is fragile. It breaks when the if is no longer met or the because fades away. My love for you is not like that. It has no if, it has no because. It simply is. Unconditional love is not blind to faults, but it chooses to remain in spite of them. It does not say, I will love you when you change. It says, I will love you while you are changing, and even if you never do. This is the love of the Father. It was his love that reached for you when you were far from him. It was his love that sent me to the cross while you were still in sin. He did not wait for you to deserve it. He gave it because that is who he is. You live in a world that makes love a transaction, giving in order to receive, but true love gives because it cannot help but give, like a river that flows from the mountain. It is not pushed or pulled. It moves because it is in its nature to do so. When I healed the sick, I did not ask for payment first. When I fed the hungry, I did not demand they follow me before receiving bread. When I forgave the sinner, I did not require them to first clean themselves. I loved first. I loved freely. Unconditional love is not weakness. It is the strongest force in the universe, for it cannot be manipulated, bribed, or destroyed. It holds steady when others fail. It remains when all reasons to love have been stripped away. My child, if you wish to love as I love, you must let go of the if and the because. Love those who may never love you back. Show kindness to those who cannot repay you. Forgive those who will never ask for it. For this is the love that will change the world. The love that does not need a reason to exist. The love that is given simply because the giver is love. Patient and kind, the quiet power of gentleness. My child, the world often celebrates loud strength. The voice that shouts the longest. The hand that strikes the hardest. The one who forces their way to the front. But I tell you, true strength is found not in aggression, but in patience. True power is not in harshness, but in kindness. Patience is love that refuses to rush. It is the ability to wait without resentment, to endure without complaint, to remain steady when others grow restless. Patience trusts the Father's timing more than its own. It says, I will not force what God has not yet opened. I will wait in faith. When I walked the earth, I was patient with those who misunderstood me, with those who doubted, with those who failed me again and again. I saw the fishermen become apostles, the doubter become a witness, the sinner become a saint, because I did not give up on them. Kindness is love in action. It is the choice to speak gently when you could speak sharply. It is the act of lifting someone when you have the power to push them down. Kindness does not seek attention or applause. It works quietly, often unseen, but its impact lasts longer than the loudest display of strength. Patience and kindness walk hand in hand. Without patience, kindness runs dry when it is tested. Without kindness, patience can grow cold and bitter. Together, they form a love that is soft enough to heal and strong enough to endure. The world will tell you that gentleness is weakness, but it is not so. Gentleness is controlled strength. Like a river channeled into a stream that nourishes the land, rather than a flood that destroys it, it takes far more strength to hold your peace than to release your anger. It takes greater courage to show mercy than to strike back. My child, if you would love as I love, clothe yourself in patience and kindness. Be slow to anger, quick to listen, ready to forgive. Do not measure your success by how quickly you get your way, but by how faithfully you walk in love. For patience and kindness may seem small in the eyes of the world, but in the kingdom of heaven, they are the quiet powers that change hearts forever. Forgiving 70 times 7. Why forgiveness is love's deepest act. My beloved, hear these words. Forgiveness is not an occasional kindness. It is the very breath of love. When Peter once asked me, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times. I told him, I do not say to you 7 times, but 70 times 7. I was not giving him a number to count, but a truth to live. Forgiveness is not a transaction you measure. It is a posture of the heart. When you forgive, you are not excusing the wrong, nor pretending it never happened. Instead, you are choosing to release the weight that evil placed upon your soul. You are saying, this pain will not be my prison. I will not let bitterness be my master. The world teaches you to repay. Hurt with hurt, insult with insult, betrayal with betrayal. But I tell you, when you forgive, you step out of the cycle of destruction and into the light of heaven. Forgiveness is love's deepest act because it costs you something. It demands that you surrender your right to revenge. True forgiveness is not weak. It is stronger than armies, richer than gold, and more enduring than time itself. The nails that pierced my hands and feet were forgiven before they struck me. My love for those who mocked, scourged, and crucified me was not diminished. It was completed in the act of forgiving them. And so I say to you, if you would know the fullness of true love, forgive not once, not twice, not 7 times, but as often as love itself calls you. Let no offense remain that grace cannot wash away. For in forgiving you will taste the very heart of God. Love in truth, honesty as an expression of care. 1. The foundation. God is truth. I am the way, the truth, and the life. John 14 verse 6. Before love can be pure, it must be anchored in truth. A love without truth is not love at all. It is flattery, convenience, or self-interest. True love seeks the good of the other, and the good can only exist in truth. 2. The wounds of falsehood, lies, half-truths, and hidden motives corrode relationships like rust on metal. Even the smallest untruth plants seeds of distrust. Asterisk lies give temporary comfort but long-term destruction. Asterisk concealing truth can be just as harmful as speaking falsehood. 3. Why truth can hurt and heal. Many avoid truth because it feels sharp, but truth is not a sword to wound. It is a surgeon's scalpel, cutting away what is diseased so that love may heal. Asterisk false peace is not real peace. Asterisk truth spoken in love brings lasting restoration. 4. Speaking the truth in love. Truth without love becomes cruelty. Love without truth becomes weakness. When you speak truth, your tone, timing, and tenderness matter as much as the words. Asterisk pray before speaking hard truths. Asterisk aim for redemption, not humiliation. 5. God's love is honest. God never deceives. Even when His truth is hard for us to hear, His corrections are not rejection, but invitations to return to the right path. Asterisk the Holy Spirit convicts, not condemns. Asterisk God's honesty flows from His perfect love. 6. When silence is not loving, sometimes staying silent feels safe, but silence can be a form of betrayal. If your neighbor is walking toward harm and you say nothing, is that love? Asterisk silence to protect yourself may harm another. Asterisk courage is often required to speak up. 7. Receiving truth with humility. To love in truth, you must not only speak it, you must also receive it. This requires humility, patience, and a heart open to correction. Asterisk defensiveness kills growth. Asterisk thank the person who loves you enough to be honest. 8. Jesus. The perfect example. When the rich young ruler came to me, I looked at him and loved him, then told him the truth he did not want to hear. Love does not withhold truth to keep someone comfortable. It risks their offense to save their soul. 9. Truth as an ongoing practice. Loving in truth is not a single act, but a way of life. Asterisk guard your tongue from deceit. Asterisk let your yes mean yes, and your no mean no. Asterisk seek God's word daily, for it is the standard of truth. 10. The promise. When love and truth walk together, trust is born. And where there is trust, relationships flourish in safety, depth, and joy. Sacrificial love, giving without expecting return. 1. The heart of sacrifice. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. John 15 verse 13. Sacrificial love is the highest form of love, for it mirrors my own heart. It is love that asks for nothing in return. Not praise, not repayment, not even recognition. It is the willingness to give when giving costs you dearly. 2. The example of the cross. The cross was not an accident of history. It was my deliberate act of love. I did not die because you deserved it, but because you needed it. True sacrificial love sees the need and steps forward. Even when the cost is great, love like this does not wait until it is easy. It is born in the very moments when it is hardest. 3. Love that is not transactional. Many love only when they receive something back. Affection, loyalty, or gifts, but my love is not an exchange. It is an offering. If your love depends on what you receive, it is not truly love. The love of God gives even when the other person has nothing to give. 4. The freedom in giving. Sacrificial love frees you from the chains of selfishness. When you love with no expectation, you are no longer bound by disappointment when others fail you. Your joy rests in the act of loving itself, not in how others respond. 5. Love for the unlovable. I loved those who betrayed me, denied me, and crucified me. Love without sacrifice is only affection. True love remains steadfast even when the other has done nothing to earn it. 6. Living sacrificial love. Daily sacrifice is not always about dying for someone. It is about living for them. It can be seen in the parent who works long hours to feed their children, in the friend who listens when they would rather sleep, in the stranger who shows kindness with no chance of reward. These daily offerings are the fragrance of heaven on earth. 7. The eternal reward. Though sacrificial love expects nothing from man, the Father sees all. Every act of love done in secret is remembered in eternity. The world may forget, but heaven never does. Part 3. Love in action. Love the stranger, compassion for those outside your circle. My child, from the beginning of time, I have made all people in the image of my Father. There is no man or woman, no tribe or nation, no tongue or culture that is not the work of his loving hands. When you look at the stranger, the one who does not speak your language, who does not share your customs, who may even look at you with suspicion, you are still looking upon my Father's craftsmanship in the kingdom of heaven. There is no outsider. The divisions you see on earth, borders, colors, religions, wealth, are but shadows compared to the eternal truth. All are my brothers and sisters. The command to love your neighbor does not stop at your neighbor's fence. It crosses oceans, deserts, and mountains. When you love the stranger, you are loving me. Remember, I too came into the world as a stranger. I was born in a place not my own, laid in a manger because there was no room for my family. I fled with my earthly parents into Egypt as a refugee to escape death. I know the loneliness of being unknown, the fear of being unwelcome. To love the stranger is to open your heart where the world might shut its door. It is to see beyond differences into the shared image of God. Sometimes that love will look like feeding the hungry, sometimes listening to a story, sometimes offering safety, and sometimes simply treating another with dignity. The love I speak of does not ask, "Do you deserve this?" It asks, "How can I serve you?" For when you welcome the stranger, you welcome the one who sent me, and truly I tell you, what you do for the least of these, you do for me. Love your enemies, overcoming hatred with grace. My child, you have heard it said, love those who love you, and hate those who hate you. But I tell you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who harm you, and pray for those who persecute you. For if you love only those who return your affection, what reward is there in that? Even those far from God do the same. But when you choose to love those who despise you, You reflect the heart of my Father in heaven. Hatred is like a seed that grows into a thorn bush. It pierces not only those you aim it at, but also your own soul. Yet love is like a seed of wheat. It dies to itself but rises to feed many. When you love your enemy, you are breaking the chain of darkness that binds both you and them. This love is not soft approval of evil. It is a firm mercy that refuses to repay. Wrong for wrong, it is a river that flows from heaven, cutting through the hardest stone. And sometimes your enemy will not change. They may mock you still, hurt you still, but when you love them, you walk in the freedom of heaven. For no one can chain a heart that forgives. So I say to you, when you are struck, do not strike back with hatred, answer with peace. When you are cursed, answer with blessing. For in that moment, you are most like your Father, who sends rain on the just and unjust. Alike, this is not easy, my child, but it is the narrow road that leads to life. And when you walk it, you will find that the enemy you feared becomes the neighbor you prayed for, the good shepherd protecting and guiding those in your care. When Jesus calls himself the Good Shepherd, John 10 verse 11, he paints a picture that his listeners in biblical times understood very well. In that culture, a shepherd wasn't just an animal caretaker. He was the sheep's protector, guide, and provider, sometimes even risking his own life to keep them safe. A shepherd would lead the sheep to safe pastures and clean water. Guard them from wild animals and thieves. Rescue any that wandered off or got injured. Stay with them day and night. No matter the weather, Jesus explains that unlike a hired worker who runs away when danger comes, the Good Shepherd stays, because the sheep belong to him and he truly loves them in the spiritual sense. Jesus is our shepherd. He knows us by name, cares for us individually, and never abandons us. We are his sheep. We trust his voice, follow his lead, and rest in his protection. His sacrifice. The Good Shepherd lays down his life for the sheep, which Jesus literally did on the cross. In everyday life, this also teaches us how to care for those entrusted to us. Whether they are children, friends, students, employees, or anyone under our guidance, true shepherding means being present and dependable when others rely on you. Leading with wisdom, not forcing or manipulating. Protecting from harm, both physically and emotionally. Sacrificing comfort when necessary to ensure others' well-being. In short, being a good shepherd means loving enough to guide, protect, and even give of yourself for the sake of those in your care. Just as Jesus does for us, the prodigal son's father, love that waits and welcomes back. My child, there was a father who had 2 sons. The younger one came to him one day and said, "Father, give me my share of the inheritance now." Though his heart was heavy, the father gave it. The son left for a distant land, and there he wasted it all in reckless living. When famine came, the boy had nothing. No food, no friends, only shame. He remembered his father's house, where even the servants had bread enough, so he said to himself, "I will go back, I will say, 'Father, I have sinned. Against heaven and against you, I am not worthy to be called your son. Make me as one of your servants.' But while he was still far away, the father saw him. He had been looking for him day after day. The father's heart was moved with compassion. He ran, not caring about dignity or the stares of others, and embraced his son. He kissed him. The son began his confession, but the father would not let him finish. He called for the robe, the ring, the sandals. He ordered a feast. My son was dead. and is alive again. He was lost and is found. Do you see, my child? This is the heart of your heavenly Father toward you. He does not wait to love you until you have cleaned yourself up. He loves you while you are still far off. He runs to meet you. His love does not keep score of your wrongs. It celebrates your return. So, as your Lord, I tell you, love like this Father, be patient with those who wander, keep your eyes on the road for their return. When they come back, welcome them not with punishment, but with joy, for the love that waits and the love that welcomes back is the love of my Father in heaven. Love that serves humility as the highest form of leadership. My child, in the kingdoms of this world, leaders often seek to be served, to be honored, and to have others bow before them. But in my kingdom, it is not so. The greatest among you must be the servant of all. When I walked among you, I did not come to sit upon a golden throne, nor to command armies with sword and shield. I came to wash feet, the dusty, calloused, tired feet of those who followed me. This was not the work of a king by the measure of men, yet it is the work of a true king in the measure of God. Do you see, my beloved? Power without humility becomes oppression, but humility filled with love becomes true power. When you bend low to lift another, you rise higher in the eyes of your Father in heaven. Leadership in my way is not about ruling over others, but about bearing their burdens, protecting their hearts, and guiding them toward the truth. The shepherd serves his sheep by leading them to green pastures, by staying awake through the night to guard against the wolf, by seeking the one who has wandered away. If you would lead, then serve. If you would be first, then take the last place. The hands that serve in love are the hands that will one day wear the crown of life. Part 4: The Challenges of True Love. When love hurts, staying faithful through pain. My child, love is not always wrapped in comfort and joy. Sometimes it is a road of thorns, where each step pierces your heart. Yet you keep walking because you know the one you follow walked it first. When love hurts, it is not a sign to turn away. It is an invitation to love more deeply, more purely. Look at the cross. It was not made of silk, but of rough wood and iron nails. Yet from that pain flowed the greatest gift, salvation. When you are wounded by those you love, do not let bitterness take root. Let patience be your shield, and forgiveness be your sword. In your steadfastness, you reflect the heart of the Father, who loves his children even when they wander. Faithfulness in pain is not weakness. It is strength born of heaven, and every tear you shed for love's sake is seen, counted, and treasured in the courts of God. Remain in love, even when it costs you, for such love is eternal and cannot be taken away. Betrayal and love, Judas and the kiss. My beloved, on the night I was taken, one of my own came to me with a kiss. It was the greeting of a friend, yet behind it lay the shadow of betrayal. You see, a kiss is meant to carry warmth, trust, brotherhood, affection, but in Judas's lips there was no love, only the cold touch of silver coins. Still, I did not pull away. I looked into his eyes, and I called him friend, not because his actions were pure, but because my love for him was unshaken. Love does not change its nature when it is met with treachery. It remains love. It grieves, yes, but it does not turn to hatred. Judas chose his path, but I chose mine. To drink the cup the Father gave me, to love even the one who sold me. You will meet your own Judas in life. Someone who wounds you in the place where you trusted them most. Do not let their kiss turn your heart to stone. Hold fast to love, for the kiss of betrayal cannot kill a heart anchored in God. Love in the storm, holding on during trials. My beloved, life will bring storms. Winds that howl, waves that rise, darkness that hides the shore. In those moments, you may feel the boat of your heart is breaking apart. Fear will whisper, "You will not make it." But hear me. I am in the boat with you. The waves may roar, but they cannot drown the love I have placed in you. When the clouds hide the stars, remember, the sun is still above them, unchanged. Love is not tested in calm waters. It is proven when the wind is against you. Anyone can hold on when the skies are clear, but when you grip my hand through the rain, when you trust my voice in the thunder, that is when love becomes unshakable. So do not let the storm define your faith. Let your faith define how you see the storm, and when it is over, for every storm has its end, you will stand on the shore stronger, your love deeper, and your heart anchored in me, loving the unlovable, grace for the difficult people. My beloved, some people will wound you with words sharper than knives. Some will close their hearts and refuse your kindness. Some will walk away when you've given them every reason to stay. Yet I tell you, love them still, not because they deserve it, but because you have tasted my grace when you did not deserve it. The unlovable are often the most wounded. Their thorns grow from places they've been hurt. Grace is not blind to faults. It sees them and chooses mercy anyway. It says, "You may not be safe, but I will not let bitterness take root in me." It frees you from carrying the poison of resentment. Remember, I loved you when you were far from me, so let my love in you be patient, enduring, and gentle even to those who do not return it. For when you love the unlovable, you look most like me. Love when you are weary, finding strength in God's presence. My child, I see the weight upon your shoulders. I know the nights when your heart is too tired to pray, when your body feels heavy and your spirit faint. You have poured yourself out until you feel empty, but I am the well that never runs dry. Come, sit with me. Let the noise fade. In my presence, you do not have to perform or pretend. Here, you can breathe again. Here, your soul drinks living water. When you are weary, lean on me, for I am gentle and humble in heart. I will carry the burdens too heavy for you, and when you rise, it will not be with your strength, but with mine. For those who wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. They will run and not grow weary, walk and not faint. Part 5: Eternal Love. Love that conquers death, the resurrection as the ultimate proof. My beloved, the world saw the cross and thought it was the end. They saw the nails, the thorns, the silence of the tomb, and they believed that love had been defeated. But love does not bow to death. On the third day, the stone was rolled away, not by human hands, but by the power of my Father. The grave could not hold me, because perfect love is stronger than the chains of death. I rose, not only to prove my power, but to show you that no darkness, no loss, no ending in your life is beyond the reach of my love. The resurrection is the eternal declaration. What is dead can live again, what is broken can be restored, and what is lost can be found. Because I live, you will live also, and this is the hope you carry, that love has conquered death, and that nothing can ever separate you from it. Kingdom of love, heaven as a place of perfect love. My beloved, the kingdom of heaven is not merely a place. It is the fullness of love itself. Every moment there is wrapped in the warmth of my presence. There is no fear, no pain, no betrayal, only perfect peace. In my kingdom, love flows like a river, unending and pure. Every heart is whole, every tear has been wiped away, and every longing finds its rest in me. Here, you will know me fully, even as I have always known you. Here, no distance or shadow can come between us. Here, Love is not a fragile flame. It is the everlasting light that fills all things. This is the home I have prepared for you, where joy never fades and love never fails, until you arrive. Let this hope be your anchor. You are already a citizen of the kingdom of love, and one day, you will dwell in it forever. The lasting legacy of love, what remains after all else fades. My beloved, when all the noise of this world has faded and the works of human hands have crumbled, one thing will remain: love. Not the fleeting love of feelings or convenience, but the steadfast love that flows from me and through you. Every act of kindness you give, every burden you help carry, every word of grace you speak. It all becomes part of an eternal story. These are not lost to time. They are treasures stored in heaven, where rust and decay cannot touch them. The world may forget names, achievements, and possessions, but love leaves a mark that cannot be erased. It is the fragrance that lingers after the flower is gone, the light that still shines when the sun has set. Live, then, with eternity in mind. Let your life be a letter of my love, written on the hearts of others, for when the final chapter closes and all else has passed away, love will still be standing. Unchanged, unshaken, everlasting, the invitation calling others into this love. My child, this love was never meant to be kept to yourself. It is a river, not a reservoir, flowing from my heart into yours, and from yours into the lives around you. There are those who thirst, though they do not know what they thirst for. They chase after many things, yet remain empty. You carry the answer. Not in your wisdom, but in my love alive within you. Invite them, not with force, not with pressure, but with the gentle welcome of grace. Let your life speak before your lips do. Let kindness be your language and compassion your tone. Tell them there is a place where they are fully known and still fully loved. Tell them there is a table prepared, and their seat has been waiting. Tell them that my love is not earned. It is received. Be my hands that reach, be my voice that calls, and watches the weary, the wounded, and the wandering come home to love, as I have loved you, your mission to live it out. My child, you have seen my love in word and in deed. You have watched me wash the feet of the undeserving, embrace the unclean, forgive the unforgivable. This is the way I have loved you, without condition, without end, and now I give you the mission. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. It will not always be easy. Love will ask you to be patient when you are wronged, to give when you feel empty, to forgive when it would be easier to turn away. But in those moments, remember, you are not pouring from your own strength. You are drawing from the endless well of my heart. Let your love be active, not just spoken. Let it cross boundaries, break walls, and heal wounds. For when the world sees this love alive in you, they will see me,